welcome to ChaPersonality. In this season of CHATIME, we will be bringing to you a new segment in which we will be talking to some of the most influential people of the community. People who have made a mark in the society and who have been actively involved in various community events. And who would be better to kick off this segment than Mr. Hemant Parikh? Hemant is a famous radio personality and has been involved in many community events for the past 10 years. Hi Hemant and welcome to ChaPersonality. So first of all, tell us, when did you come to New Zealand and how was it growing up in New Zealand for you?
I came to New Zealand in '86, it was 13th May, and I was probably 13 years old that time. And my auntie had called all of our family to visit New Zealand. And we stayed for 1 year in New Zealand. And then we went back to India. And then we got our PR in India. And then we decided to come back and stay in New Zealand. So we've been here ever since 1986.
Did you experience a culture shock, or how was it for you to fit into the New Zealand culture?
It was a big culture shock, Neha, as you expect, because when we came, we were little kids, and that time the population, the migrant population in New Zealand was not that much. So we struggled in a way because we came from totally happening place, things happening, sleeping late, going to movies and radios and TV and whatnot, all was available. Here it was not. We had a radio program on Access Radio which only used to come once a week for 1 hour. So that was like, amazing thing to look forward to. There was no television. And we were also trying to learn a new language and new cultural experiences. But what was really good in this country, what I found, is that when we came, we worked in shop helping my auntie, and then I also did paper runs and milk runs and a whole lot of things. So getting mixed with the community wasn't a huge difficulty thereafter. Going to the school, people welcomed us at school and we fitted into the culture. We started learning learning rugby, for instance, as leaving the cricket behind was a big challenge. But yeah, knowing rugby was fun. Going for swimming in the pool at school, that was new, and we learned all these things. And the good thing is that my auntie's family and my friends, they really supported us in fitting into the community. We started learning everything that was out there, going to parties and discos, and it was quite different.
Now tell us, how did radio come about? How did you think of making radio your career?
Well, I guess that passion of being behind a mic actually started in India when I was a young boy, because my dad was a technician. I always was breaking stereos, pulling out cassette tapes and sleeping on radios and all that. And I was brought up in that atmosphere. And then I remember once we had a show in our city and we had to promote the show. And they used to have those rickshawalists going with the banners and shouting all throughout the village, the cities and the villages of outskirts of the town that the show was coming. And I had an exam that day, and I hid the microphone, and they couldn't go out. And when I came back home, I said, "Yes, here's a microphone. You have to take me." And I actually got onto the mic. So I think that was my first experience of being behind mic. And I think it was in '94 that I met Robert Khan, and I said, after returning from India, watching ZTV and the influence of media had grown in India significantly, as opposed to '86 when I left and we only had the Doordarshan, and the satellite channels had taken over. And when I said this to Robert, and he said, I have an idea. He said, let's do a radio program. And we did a 1 hour radio program on Access Radio, and it was on Friday morning, 7 to 8. It was a challenging show, that a breakfast show had started, and actually it was only 55 minutes to be precise. We had 55 minutes to complete all the commercials, the news and all that. And we did local news, Fiji news, Indian news, and it was quite learning. I had to get local papers from the fruit shop and read and learn Fiji words and all that. It was like all there. And then in I think '95, Robert said that there was a frequency, and hence '96 June Tarana started, and I think early '96. Actually, after that in '96, I would have given up my Access Radio program, and then radio took off. And again, that was with part-time hours because our population wasn't so huge. We were doing skeleton hours, but it grew into a full-time radio station over the last years, and yeah.
Well, Hemant, we have seen a significant growth in Radio Tirana in the past few years. But other than radio, you've been involved in many events, like you were just talking about concerts and shows, and you're to be seen everywhere, whether it's the Diwali functions, whether it's the Polyfest, or it's the Miss Indians. So tell us about the events that you've been involved with.
We actually thought that yes, we need to do this, and we actually started a school band. So me, my brother Dharmesh, and a drummer and a Congo player, and I got inspired by Jumma Jumma, a concert, and we were playing instrumentals at school, and we went to school festivals and performed our band, and so cool. And then shows happened, and I started comparing at local shows and school events and all that. And I think after that, my brother said, hey, let's do a beauty pageant. So come about 2002, we started Miss India NZ, so showcasing local talent of beauties, and along with them we had local singers and dancers, and all put together turned out to be a great formula where the talent came. This talent went on to become professional artists. Some have recorded albums, some have appeared in films, some are professional models now. So these events actually was a good investment for us. From these events we've never made money, but we are always happy to see this talent. Even like yourself, Neha, you were discovery of Rhythm House in a way that you sang for us, and you performed at you took part in the pageant. So there you are, and now you're a big radio celebrity, which is great. It's a pride for us. It was a find of Rhythm House, as we can say it proudly.
So this was about the local events, but you've also been a part of many international events. You travel a lot doing coverage of many shows, especially the award functions. How has your experience been of traveling to such events? Share that with us.
Well, to go to an award function first time was the experience of a lifetime. But then I think eventually, a couple of years later, it was the norm for me. But what I always take pride in is when I go there and we say we're from New Zealand, and whether it's Amitabh Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan or any of these big celebrity stars, they raise their eyebrows and they speak to you on a different tone. Because I guess to the Indian media, they speak to them throughout day and day in India because there's so many media there, and it's a norm for them. But to speak to somebody outside of India, it's really amazing. And New Zealand's got a niche carved after what happened in Kahuna Pyar Hai, where New Zealand got another recognition apart from being involved in cricket or having the largest population of sheeps. But no, the New Zealand on its own through its beauty and people got more recognition after that. And it's been great to travel to these award functions, and the passion that comes there is that when I'm there, I grab the moment and I deliver it to the radio audiences here and say, this is how it was. And the amazing fact about these things is that they happen at odd hours of the morning, and when I come back, I get a couple of close mates, and they said, we've heard the whole program and we actually felt that we were there. And I said, okay, well, that's the feeling that I was there and I delivered that moment. And as I said, the pride in that is that we represent New Zealand and people feel proud about New Zealand being there.